Hey everybody, what's going on? Your host LovelyCheesePizza here. Welcome back to Let's Play some more Link's Awakening DX, where last time we were able to finish up the Key Cavern, and we got the Pegasus boots, so now we can ram stuff. And this is the part of the game where everything's going to start getting real fuzzy for me. This is where a lot of mistakes are going to be had, and I apologize ahead of time. But we're going to see if we can power through it. I'm feeling good about today, or tonight for some reason, despite the fact that I'm gonna like sweat myself into dehydration and probably die on camera. So we'll just see what happens. Like, I've been sitting here for 10 minutes and I'm already just like busting sweat everywhere. I don't even know what that even means. I don't know if anybody's ever busted sweat before, but I am. Now, here's this fucker. Hoot! How many instruments have you gotten so far, even though I've been following you supposedly this whole time and I already know the answer to that? When you play the instruments in front of the egg, the windfish will wake and you will leave this island. Now, you must hasten to the Yarna desert. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, I remember this now. The dark, monstrous inhabitants of the sand will show you the way. Hoot hoot. Okay, yeah, I remember this a little bit now. And I think the desert, if I remember correctly, is down towards the bottom right corner of the map, so we'll be traveling that way if we don't go and try to commit suicide by drowning ourselves, so that's just great. So one thing that we're going to do, that I can remember at least off the top of my head, is we're going to go back to what is it? I always keep forgetting the name of the village. It's not Kakariko, it's Mabe Village. Okay, it's Mabe Village. And we get to go to the oh, this guy. We get to go to the Dream Shrine, because there's that one item in there that we can access now. What is this guy gonna do? We get to get the beehive. Oh, Adam, I see you have a nice stick. Wait a second. I ain't swinging that way, buddy. Thanks for the compliment, but I think I'm gonna go over that way instead. Can I borrow it for a second? I'm gonna say, sure, why not? But how about we go, like, in the trees, or maybe inside of that cave where the fairy lady can watch. I'm sure she gets a little lonely in there. Give her a show. Oh, yeah! Oh, dude, don't agitate the bees. He's like, oh, shit! Oh, God! I'm allergic to bees! There's not even a hospital on this island! If they sting me, I'm gonna die! Nobody has EpiPens here! Alright. Y became the honeycomb, because that stick looks suspiciously like a Y, so we'll take that. You're not sure how it happened, but take it. Okay, well, we will do that. So, we can now take that, and then we're going to go off to the Dream Shrine and deal with that whole thing. By the way, I just got done... Oh yeah, we get to start utilizing these, but I think that we have to, like, discover these other teleportation things before you can actually start transporting between them, as that would make sense. I mean, how do you teleport to a place that you've never been before, you know? So, anywho, I saw this really, really cool game theory, like, right before I started filming this. Let's go to the shop, by the way, and buy some more bombs, just because we only have one left. So, I know we're saving up for the bow, but it's only 10 rupees, so it's not a big deal. But yeah, I saw this really cool gaming theory. It wasn't from the game theorist, it's from some other guy. And he did a really good job with it, and it was something that I've never really actually thought about it at length before. But it was a theory from the old Punch-Out series for the NES. And the theory was about... So Glass Joe, the first guy that you fight in the game, his boxing record is 1 win and 99 losses. And the theory is... Who the fuck did this guy beat? I mean, you play against the guy, and he's absolutely terrible. I mean, the dude is just god-awful. It's basically insulting if you lose to him. And so, the big theory is, if this guy is really this bad, then who was the poor sap that actually lost to him at some point? And so that was like the big point of speculation, was that this guy was going through all these different points of lore in the game, trying to figure out who it was, you know, that he beat, because the obvious choice in all of this would have been Gabby J from the Super Nintendo game. Oh, Tide, it's the Ocarina! Okay, or Ocarina, however the hell you want to say it. Tomato, rice in a snowstorm. I don't know why rice in a snowstorm has anything to do with any of that, but it does. So, we should learn some songs with this. So, yeah, the obvious choice would have been Gabby J, because Gabby J is like the worst character from Super Punch-Out, and I think he also has a record of like 1 win and 99 losses or something like that. And Gabby J's 1 win was actually against Glass Joe, because he went to the Glass Joe Boxing Academy, which I feel horrible for the poor sap that got stuck with that. That's just, what a horrible place to learn from all that. So, or how to learn anything about boxing. Let's try playing this thing. That's funny. Well, it's an ocarina, but you don't know how to play it. It's actually really funny that if you don't learn these songs, like, you play it horribly and totally off-key. That's hilarious. Hey, that's a nice ocarina you have there. Will you accompany me as I sing? Oh yeah, buddy. Lay down that wonderful bean footage. That was awesome, by the way. I was just hoping that the audio wasn't going to start chopping into it, making it sound terrible. But I love that I love that Link goes from not knowing anything about any of that to all of a sudden he knows the entire song. It's just like, oh, I've heard like 3 seconds of this. I'm totally going to know what I'm doing now. By the way, my headphones totally just died. I can't hear any of the game audio now, so we get to play this thing totally just with no audio now. That's funny. So how do you like it? Oh, wait, no, there we go. Actually, I can still hear it. I thought that it sounded like my headphones died, but apparently they didn't. Does it stick in your mind? It sure does. Alright, cool. You've learned the Ballad of the Windfish. This song will always remain in your heart. Please remember this song. You should play it every once in a while to keep it fresh in your mind. So I don't know if we actually have to necessarily do that, otherwise we forget it. I'm sure there's probably just parts in the game where you just have to use it. But I don't know, that moment there where like, when you play it for the first time without talking to her, you don't know what you're doing. But then as soon as it's like, oh, will you play with me? He's like, oh, sure. And she, she sings like 6 notes, and then all of a sudden he just jumps and he's like, fuck yeah, I know this thing. And he's like perfectly good at that. It reminds me of the moment from a Goofy movie where they make it to the Powerline concert, and the dude from Powerline, while Goofy's doing the perfect cast dance, he's sitting there watching him like, dude, this is fucking tight. He's like sitting there watching him do it, and he's never seen this dance before, and then all of a sudden he breaks in and he's doing the dance with him, even though he's never seen that part before. I always thought that was funny. It's just like, how quickly you learn a dance that you've only seen for like 5 seconds, and you know the part of the dance that he didn't even show you yet. So, I don't know. It's just funny. But yeah, back to that theory. It's really interesting. Where he goes through all of the stuff, like talking about who it could have possibly been against, where apparently there was a developer. I think we're going the right way, by the way. I'm just trying to go, I'm trying to go southeast as much as possible. Animal Village, Martha's Bay. Oh, the Animal Village. I think that there's a guy that we can give the honeycomb to, I think. Yeah. Oh, shit. Oh, no. Do we need the hook shot for that? Hold on a minute. Wasn't there... Yeah! Okay, I remember this now. I remember there being a little way around that. But, yeah, so there was a developer that he had kind of released this little thing saying that Glass Joe's 1 win that he had was actually against Nick Bruiser. Which, ironically enough, is like the final boss of Super Punch-Out. But the weird thing is that it's like this weird contradictory bit of information. That looks really suspicious. That looks like there could totally be a seashell there. I want it. Is it gonna be here? It just seems like there's gotta be something here. But yeah, if you look in the game, Nick Bruiser's win-loss record is 49-0, so it would imply that he never has lost a match. But if you beat him in the game, every time that you beat somebody in that game, it'll show like your time, and it shows like the high score table for it or whatever. And it shows in the high score table like the final time in there, or like I think it's like the lowest fast time on the board was actually set by G Joe, so it would have been Glass Joe, which is really interesting because then it implies that he's beaten him before. It's weird. And then the other big side of the theory, the other part of it, is that the one person that Glass Joe beat could actually have been Little Mac. Yarna Desert, there's a way to get there to the south, but you might not be able to get through if that lazy walrus is in the way. Okay, well, I think we might be able to, I mean, if I have to, I can just, slice him, and, if there's like a snowstorm, I can just go hide in his guts, but I don't think that's necessarily going to be the case. Ah, sigh. On such a nice day, we need a song from Marin. Well, hey, I know the song from Marin, so you just grab a lawn chair and some lemonade and get ready for this. Nothing? Not doing it for you, huh? Alright. Alright. Well, I guess he needs her in the flesh, because I'm just not quite the substitute that he's looking for. Oh, well, look at this guy. Yeah, I'm Shul Donovich. The mermaid statue by the bay is my masterpiece. To tell you the truth, this work is not complete. The art, it's difficult for you to grasp, is it not? Go away! Okay, I'm not gonna get in the way of that. She would absolutely crush me if she so wanted to. But yeah, I guess there were like these old Nintendo comics, and like one of them actually talked about the very first fight that Little Mac had, and in the picture you can totally see a guy knocking out Little Mac that totally looks like Glass Joe. It's really interesting. Hey, did you know Animal Village and Maid Village are sister cities? Yes, even though they aren't large enough to be called cities. Anyway, I heard from a very good source that they have a dream shrine in Maid, and that it has something good inside. Is that true? Well, yeah, actually I already got it, so don't worry about that. Oh, I remember her. Okay. You don't know the proper etiquette when dealing with a lady, do you? You should have brought flowers or something. Then I might be more inclined to talk with you. Oh yes, in my case, hibiscus are best. Well, I mean, don't get me wrong here. She seems like a nice lady, and by a nice lady I mean she's kinda sort of a conceited bitch. I'm not gonna talk to you unless you bring me a gift from your first time coming in to talk to me. Seems a little messed up to me. There is nobody here. But yeah, it's very interesting. And I guess, later on in the comic it shows that, there's a promoter, and it ends up being the first time that Little Mac ever met Doc, his trainer. But there was a promoter that told him that he should quit altogether, and then Doc comes in and convinces him, oh, no, I'll train him, more or less. So that's kind of the other part of it. There's like a whole bunch of varying theories going around about it. It's actually very interesting. I can't go to Maid Village because of all the monsters. I hope Marin is alright. Oh, don't worry, she's doing just fine. It's all good. This is totally the guy we need to talk to. This is how often are you going to see a bear wearing an apron with a chef's hat on? That's funny. Hi-ho! Hey, you! Is that possibly a honeycomb you have? I just ran out. Will you swap it for a pineapple? Sure, why not? Yeah! You exchange honeycomb for pineapple. It's not as sweet, but it is delicious. Hi-ho, yeah, I know. That tub of goo is asleep right in the way to Yarna Desert. Once he's asleep, he won't budge for a long time. Kinda sounds like a Snorlax, but we already know that it's a walrus. But then again, maybe they don't know, and they just think that Snorlax is a walrus. But hey, take little Marin and wake him up with her song. That slob would wake up with a jump if he heard her sing, for sure. Well, I do know her song. Maybe that'll substitute. Who knows? Oh, can we get in here without drowning? Tight. Tight! Okay, even better. Alright, so that's one teleporter that's been activated now. This is good. Cool! Oh, that makes that so much easier to deal with. Okay, so now we need to go down to the Yarna Desert. I'm gonna go see if I can wake him up with this thing. That would be supremely awesome if that worked. And I also saw that if we can go all the way around here and get up around the corner of the town, there's like a little cave that we can bomb. Oh, there he is right there. That is definitely not Snorlax. He actually looks really fucking evil. Those giant, you know, it just looks like these crazy, like, icicle fangs coming out of the side of his face. It looks just sinister. Oh man, that's awesome. Nothing? It looked like it could have been hiding one there. Yeah, just kind of a cool little... I love gaming theories, man. There's so many interesting things that people cook up. They're a lot more observant than I am, man. I would have never thought about that. Okay, what have we here? Oh, I kind of sort of remember this a little bit. Now the question is there like a secret bombable wall around here somewhere? Is it here? Probably not. Oh, it is! Oh, tight. Okay. I didn't expect that to work. Usually when a wall can be bombed, they straight up will tell you. Oh, shit. Didn't mean to do that. Okay. So... Oh, I know what I need to do. I need to throw a bomb over here. Oh god. Oh god, there we go. So the problem is... Okay, so I'm gonna need the hook shot in order to get that. I think that's the deal for that. Which is fine. We just don't have it yet. I don't remember what dungeon we get the hook shot in. I think it might actually be Dungeon 5. That might be where that comes from. Yeah, and I think that we're not gonna... I can try it. I'm gonna give it a whirl just to see what happens, but I think this is like one thing too wide. Oh, yep, I was right. Damn. That was worth a try, though. Oops. My bad. I don't think there's any other way to get around it, so... Oh well. At least we know there's a piece of heart over there, and we... Oh, it doesn't show us our heart container, so we must not have any right now. And I don't think that we do, so that's all good. I think we will live. So, with that, let's see if playing the song will wake him up. If it doesn't, then we'll stop right here. If it does, then we'll stop right here. So this is going to be kind of our final deal for the day here. And then when we come back, we will head towards the Yarna Desert. Did it work? It doesn't work? Oh, he wants Marin. He really does. Oh, you know what? We can probably just go... Yeah, we can probably just go back to Mabe Village and just bring Marin over here. And then... Yeah, because I think you can actually just... I think she'll follow you to the teleporter and just come here. Or she'll just, like, magically warp here or something, because, you know, plot shield and all that stuff. Okay, guys, well, I think we're going to stop right here, and when we come back on the next installment of Let's Play Link's Awakening DX, we're going to head back to Mabe Village and see if we can get Marin to follow us here, so we can go wake up the Fat Man, so we can go down to the desert and head to dungeon number 4, because I think that's where that is. So until then, my friends, this is your host, LovelyCheesePizza, saying thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one, everybody. Bye.